What do you find out from your team when you have a long layoff and then they come and play the way they did yesterday? Maybe it wasn't exactly what you wanted, but they found a way to get you going.
It's pretty much what I expected, to be honest with you. Like we talked about before the game, I thought we'd be a little rusty and a little slow in the first, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it could have got, to be honest with you, with the 8 shots to 2, and there wasn't much going on. But after that, they responded real well. They played hard, played a better game, and we found a way to get that big win last night. I mean, Boston played a real tough defensive game last night. They were missing a couple of their top players, and they came in there and they were committed to not giving us much, and they did that for most of the game. But we found a way to get some goals and get some scoring chances. And the overtime was a pretty fun overtime, and obviously the shooter was 9 shooters deep, so that was fun too.
You talk about neither team giving up too much. Did the fact that your bottom 6 had a lot of puck possession, was that an important aspect of the game for you guys to keep them off the board yesterday?
Yeah, no, they did a good job. They worked hard. Again, we didn't create a whole lot for at least half of the game, but I thought they did a real good job of doing that and bumping some bodies down low and keeping the puck in their zone, and that's a key for them, and that's going to be a key for them for a lot of games. I mean, it's going to be tough to score. The second half, the games are, they get that much tighter, and I think that's the way the NHL is going to be. It's going to be a lot of those games are going to be tight 2-1, 1-0, 3-2 hockey games, and the second half, the points are real big.
Are those the kind of experiences in those tight games that you think are going to be important for the team as you guys look to be where you want to be later in the season?
No doubt, for sure. But we've had a lot of those games this year. I mean, a lot of tough battles and close games, and especially at home, we found ways to come back and win some hockey games that we didn't, particularly start very well. But last night was a good win for us against a good team.
Does Hedl need to score 7 goals in the next 7
That's
games?
what we said, Colin. That's what we said. Keep it going, kid. No, good for him. He played real well.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, what did you see from him last night? Is it possible he could have turned the corner?
Yeah, he played a strong game. He was physical. He played strong with the puck. Managed the puck real well. But I liked this game. It just seemed to be at a level where we want him to be, and I'm sure he was happy with his game last night. He won puck battles, he controlled the puck, and he managed the puck real well.
You've told us many times you didn't know any of these guys before you came here.
Mm-hmm.
What have you seen from him as a young guy, 22 years old, 4th year in the league, in terms of whatever the expectations might have been for him? What have you seen? How has he handled that, and how has he performed?
Well, we talked about him playing all over, different lines, right wing, left wing. That's what our team is. I mean, Goodrow does it, he does it, Laffy does it. It's not a perfect scenario, but I think if you look around the league with what's gone on in our league the last 2.5 years, guys playing different positions, and you got to man up and take it, and make no excuses. And Phil had a great game last night. If he continues to progress like that, that's exactly what we want and what he wants. And start from last night. And not that he was bad before that, just that he was missing some games. He had some injuries. So, think of the positives, go from last night's game and move forward.
But I mean, when you say he had a good game, what sorts of things specifically did he do well? Possessing the puck and
all the stuff I just talked about.
Yeah.
He managed the puck real well. He didn't turn pucks over. I thought he was strong in his game. He scored a good goal. He shot the puck. He went to the net for the rebound. A lot of times, when you're not in the groove, you're turning away from that rebound, and, he did the right things. He was strong. He looked like a man last night.
Do you see a different level of confidence in when he plays a game like that?
Do
you see a different level of confidence in Phil?
For Phil? Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I'm sure he feels real good about his game last night, and that's what players want to do. I mean, I played the game years ago, and when I had a bad game, I didn't feel too good the next day. And when you play a good game, you feel good about yourself, and you come to the rink and you're happy. And he's had a good practice this morning. He looks good, and that's what it's all about. We won a big game last night, and he was a big part of it. And every player in our team wants that.
The fact that Jones and Schneider had played together in the AHL, I think they've been paired together with Hartford for some time, correct?
I couldn't tell you that.
I believe so. I mean, was that I guess that wasn't talked about? That didn't add any comfort?
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all.
So what?
I mean, Murph. When we call guys up, guys get called up. Murph talks to the coaching staff down there, and about what they're doing, and we know what Jonesy is. I've known the kid for 4 or 6 months, whatever it is, and I know what type of player he is. You see him play. He moves the puck. He skates. He's not a big guy, but he defends pretty hard. So, we knew what we were getting.
The way that they handled some of the pressure last night, the way that they cleared the puck out of the zone, were those some of the things that stood out to you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're 2 good young players. And we always talk about young, but they show energy, they show a lot of spunk out there, and, you know, everybody makes mistakes, but they played real solid and real good hockey.
What's it, I mean, I'm sure it's not an easy decision, but with your goaltending, when you have one goalie who hasn't played in 3 weeks, and you haven't played a lot of games, and now you have
I
some
don't
games.
worry about that. They all had a break, you know, we'll take it one game at a time.
Does workload factor into the decisions though? Like if you felt like Igor
Decision on what?
like who to play next. If you feel like Igor is coming off of a game where he saw a lot of shots that had to work really hard, is that
He just had 10 days off.
Uh-huh.
Both goalies practiced for the last 5-6 days, so I'm
Yeah.
not worried about that. Not worried about that one bit. Worried about winning hockey games.